Hello everybody, welcome to my Weird Wonderful World, and the purpose of this video is to kind of go through what I consider a wide variety of different genres. When I look at music, I don't really see genres like some people might. You got some people who are stuck in certain type of either time period or genre specific, but me, I love music so much that I can't just sit and pick a genre. And I'm going to go through quite a bit of material here, a history of a journey through so many variety of music that I love. The word eclectic still doesn't even come close to talking about all the different types of music that I love. Now, I know people who might not like some of this. Some people might love some of this and feel indifferent about others in that. But here's my little journey. Of course, it all started. Let's go with the weird first, okay? It, my love for weird music really started, and I got clusters of albums. I want to go through this as quickly as possible. So when it comes to weird, it started with the Electric Lucifer of Bruce Wack. Bruce Whack, Bruce Hack. I meant to say, not Whack. But yeah, it. This was the beginning of my love for weird music, and from there, you get Devo. It's weird music, but I love it. Thanks to Harry Graves, I love Ween now, and that's weird music that I really love. You get bands like Butthole Surfers, for example. This is weird music, but I still love it. And then there's stuff that, for some reason or not, I get into the Insane Clown Posse and D Antworth. You know, talking about some of the weird music that I'm into, and yeah, I love weird music. I even have comedy albums because it's and like I have a Adam Sandler, I have a George Carlin, I have a couple of little weird things here and there. But again, it's all for that variety. I love variety. It's the spice of life, as they say. And so, also let's start from the beginning. My first favorite band, of course, is Kiss. And even within the Kiss genre, you get the rockin' beginning album. They go through different transformations, but then they go into some disco stuff. Again, it's a variety, and when you're growing up in this with the music that I listened to growing up, it's all about that variety. And so, also, I will have to add some of this stuff here that that thanks to my dad, I love stuff like the old 50s hits. I got a couple of collections here of old 50s stuff, and then you're getting around to the Beach Boys, which I love. I love Del Shannon, Dorsey, Bobby V, the Monkees, Bee Gees, Hermits, that stuff is wonderful stuff. And and not only that, but I even fell in love. I still even love the instrumental stuff like the Ventures, or every single band that's on this, from like uh, the Shadows, Dwayne Eddy, Dick Dale and his Deltones, which I have a CD of that. There's just so many Johnny and the Hurricanes. So many of these bands that I really want to get. Like I'm thinking of getting like greatest hits of some of those. But yeah, this Ventures has 8 different albums. It's eight albums in 4 CDs, and it's wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. And because of my love for instrumental music growing up like that, getting a little bit older and and getting into stuff like Steve Vai and Joe Satriani. Again, talking about the variety of music. And I consider that all of it is wonderful. Even getting to like talking about different variety of music, you get something kind of weird and wonderful like Sparks. Having an album like that and to a disco album and everything in between. So it just doesn't end. Just doesn't end. And of course, now we're going to go into what became my second favorite genre of music, especially in the mid '80s to early '90s. There was the big four of Metallica, Anthrax, Megadeth, Slayer, you know, and even the older rock stuff like Iron Maiden. Now, I still don't have any like black. I got Black Sabbath, which yeah, Black Sabbath. Where is that? So I'm starting to collect Black Sabbath now. But talking about like Motorhead, and I still need to get some Motorhead. Then there was the Iron Maidens, the Judas Priest, and all those other like Dio and Scorpions and all that classic music that I still need to get more of all that stuff. But yeah, now that I have Black Sabbath, so many different genres, and the softer stuff too. Like growing up, we always had Tea for the Tillman from Cat Stevens. How different is that from all the rest of that stuff? Or even now I'm getting into Ry Cooder, and I love it. Again, that's a different genre of music. I think it's so important to be open minded to different types of music out there. Then I started getting into the grunge scene with bands like Nirvana and Pearl Jam were other examples. And even though I always kind of liked them, I never really gotten into the Beatles until lately. Like hearing hearing Larry Graves and even Glenn Calloway talking about these. Now I'm so thankful that I'm finally getting into the Beatles. I love again, it's all about that love for variety. Why pigeonhole yourself into just a few categories of genres when there's so much variety and differences out there that just to embrace? And then going into the harder stuff, there's I can go into the real hard heavy stuff like industrial rock of KMFDM, Ministry. I love Ministry, White Zombie, and even Ramstein. Foreign language. I could even throw in there the Peter Schilling or the French albums I have. Doesn't matter the language. Again, it's that eclecticness of the variety that I just love so much. And oh, I meant to show that too with the Beatles. Yeah. So even within the Beatles, how different are these three albums from each other? It's a history of them experimenting, changing, evolving. And that's what music should do. Music should be evolving all the time. And the Beatles were a prime example of, getting out of your comfort zone and doing some more harder, more complicated, more mind-bending music. And so, yeah, then, you get to and then you get, and then I'm also into stuff like Bad Religion, like kind of a more punkish stuff. Bad Religion, Offspring, and I have a few more other punk stuff here and there that I love. And then, okay, talking about variety, that a band that goes through so many different genres. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. why they're my second favorite band right now is because they can do stuff like like you know a western, a novelization of a spoken word western with cool trippy music behind it. Then there's this, which I know Glenn Calloway didn't really like it. It's understandable, he didn't like the whole chugga 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 metal part of it, but I love it. I love the energy. I love the ingenuity. I love the singing. I love the lyrics. This is my favorite second favorite album of all time. I'm not even going to show my favorite one, but I will talk about for a second Tool. Tool again, my favorite band of all time, and even this album of Fear Inoculum is spectacular and so different than what they had done before it. They're most melodic and more ambient type of music that they ever did. And again, I love it. I love that that bands will branch out in a different variety and not stick to the same course of I'm this genre and that genre only, and I'm not going to branch out. He, microtonal with the King, going back with King Gizzard, microtonal, boogie rock, and metal, all within the same band, you know. And this goes along. I'm sorry. This goes great. This goes great with the big four of Metallica, Anthrax, Megadeth, and Slayer. It's right up that alley, and I love it dearly. And then you get the more pop stuff, like having to have Michael Jackson's Thriller. So how different is this than all what I've just shown you? Amazing stuff. I still really do love this whole album. You know, then I want to go into more of the soundtracks and having some cool soundtracks. I have a couple of Prince soundtracks, the Batman soundtrack and the Purple Rain soundtrack. These are my two favorite Prince albums. I probably should look into getting some of the other ones, but these were the ones that were on my radar growing up, and these were the ones I loved. Being a Batman fan and and also liking this movie. It's not the greatest movie, but the soundtrack is super awesome. I love these songs. And and then of course, growing up with the Doors, another example of a different type of band that goes with the 60s stuff and the early 70s stuff. But then what else was I going to show? Oh yes, movie soundtracks, like of course my favorite movie of all time, Fight Club. So and again, more ambient and everything. But then I also have and I love these too. I love the Animatrix soundtrack because I'm a big fan of the Matrix trilogy, and well, now there's four of them. But I love the music on this, and even all of this is still great. The first CD is just is bands doing songs for it. There's Linkin Park, Marilyn Manson, Rob Zombie, Deftones are on there. That's awesome. And yeah, it's just so Oakenfold, Fluke. There's a Fluke song on here too. I like Fluke. And yeah, it's all spectacular stuff that I love. Speaking of more ambient different type of music, you get bands like Battles, like this one here for this is the Tonto different version. This is not the one I really want to show, but Battles, all their music is interesting and different, and I love all of it, even the annoying songs. And then of course Can again, Glenn pretty much said it right. It's ambient music. The lyrics don't matter. It's all about the mood that it brings. And again, I do love this, and Future Days from Can. Awesome, awesome stuff. And last but not least, I gotta bring up some female singers because again, variety with the Suzanne Vega, the Fiona Apple, so soulful and beautiful, and then there's this, and then no doubt, I love Gwen Stefani on this, and I even have another No Doubt album. I love these. Now the contrast. Look at the contrast between like between this and this. To be able to love Suzanne Vega and love South of Heaven from Slayer. Go figure, right? All these varieties of music that I love. So when I see certain people out there doing their, and they're sticking to a very, narrow-minded category of music, I understand that's what they're comfortable with. That's what they like, and there's nothing wrong with that. But just for me personally, in my own opinion, I love branching out into the wider world of just different type of music. That's for me is the love of music that I can find something good in anything, almost anything, and being open minded to different music. I mean, there's stuff I might not like. There's a lot of the newer pop music out there that Spotify seems to like to push more than others. But yeah, when it comes to music, yeah, no telling what I'm going to get into, and that's my message to everybody: is try not to be so, you know, you got to give it more of a chance. You got to give it more. You gotta some like Larry Graves says it best. Sometimes you need to hear an album at least 3 times to really get it. There's a few albums that I didn't really care about the first time I heard it, or even the second time. But by the time you get to that third time, you're like, wow, okay, I get it now. I still need to get Pet Sounds and other and a few other Beach Boys stuff. I need to get I need to get so much. There's so much I keep hearing other people talk about, and so many recommendations and suggestions from my viewers and other channels that I really want to dig into. I really want to dig into, but there's so much. There's so much. Now I've been thinking of trying to get, what do I not want to keep? What do I want to get rid of here and there? And there's not much at all. I am I now, I had asked a few videos back if I was a CD hoarder, if I was a hoarder of CDs and music. Maybe, but do I care? No, because I really do love it all and feel that one day that I will somehow get to it and play those CDs that I'm thinking I might not get to, but because I never know. Once I retire from working and I could do this full time, like what I want to do is delve more into doing artwork and listening to more music and doing videos. If I can do all that and make it one big package and to bring it all to you, I would love to do that. My job sort of keeps me from doing that. It pays the bills, and I don't mind my job. I'm actually really enjoying it. The last 4 or 5 shifts I had, I'm actually really enjoying my job now, much more than I did before, because I'm doing something much more where I can actually think about music. And if I even want to play some music as I'm doing my job, I could. I don't like doing that. I like to concentrate on what I'm doing. But I do always have a song in my head all the time. And so variety, variety. embrace variety because I know that's what makes me happy. Music is my favorite thing in the planet. It's my favorite subject to talk about. I could talk about music for hours. I could talk about all of these bands for hours. But I don't want to make this too much of a longer video. We've just passed the 20-minute mark, so I am going to let you go. And as always, if you are watching this for the first time, please consider subscribing because I do greatly appreciate it and will love you forever. And don't be afraid to hit the like button. Let me know what you think about variety and all, and what you're into for music and that. And are you more adventurous when it comes to music, or are you somebody who just like to stick to a few just a few genres and that's it? I love to hear your opinion about that. And okay, as always, just please be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side. And please, everybody, have a great day, evening, morning, night, afternoon, wherever you may be. Peace, everybody.